If you are over 70 years old or if you have parents or grandparents who travel within the United States, please stop everything you are doing right now and watch this entire video, because what I am about to share with you could be the difference between making your flight and standing helplessly at the TSA checkpoint while an officer tells you that you cannot board your plane. I am not exaggerating. I am not trying to scare you. I am telling you exactly what is already happening at airports across America. And the heartbreaking reality is that thousands of seniors are completely unaware that the identification card sitting in their wallet right now may no longer be valid for air travel. Imagine your 75-year-old mother arriving at the airport excited to visit her grandchildren only to be told she cannot pass through security. Imagine the confusion, the embarrassment, the tears. This is not a hypothetical situation. This is happening right now. And today on US Immigration Info, I am going to explain everything you need to know about these airport identification rules, who is affected, what documents you actually need, and the exact steps you must take immediately to protect yourself and the seniors you love from being denied boarding. If you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give it a like so you never miss important updates delivered straight to your smartphone. Now, let us get into the video. Welcome to US Immigration Info, your trusted source for accurate and timely information on everything affecting immigrants, visa holders, green card applicants, and anyone navigating life in the United States. If you are new here, please take 1 second to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because we cover critical USCIS updates, visa news, green card processing changes, work permit deadlines, and stories exactly like this one that mainstream news often overlooks until it is too late. Your subscription helps us continue bringing you these important updates, and more importantly, it ensures you never miss information that could directly affect your legal status, your travel, or your family. Now, let me explain exactly what is happening with these shocking airport rules that are causing so much confusion, especially among seniors flying after 70. The core of this issue is the Real ID Act, a federal law that was passed years ago but has been delayed multiple times. As of May 7, 2025, the enforcement of Real ID requirements is now fully in effect at all TSA airport checkpoints across the United States. This means that if you are boarding a domestic flight, you can no longer use a standard state driver's license or identification card that does not meet Real ID standards. Your ID must either have the Real ID star marking on it, or you must present an alternative acceptable document such as a valid U.S. passport, a passport card, a military ID, or certain other federally approved identification. Here is where seniors flying after 70 are being caught off guard, and why this situation described in our title about shocking airport rules and boarding denied is playing out at airports every single day. Many older Americans received their driver's licenses or state ID cards years ago, sometimes decades ago. They renewed those IDs by mail or online without ever visiting a DMV office in person. They never realized that their perfectly valid-looking identification card does not have the small star symbol that indicates Real ID compliance. They assumed that because their license was not expired, it would work for everything, including flying. That assumption is now causing tremendous problems. Let me give you a realistic example so you understand exactly how this affects real families. Consider a 72-year-old grandmother named Maria who has been a lawful permanent resident for over 30 years. She has a valid green card. She has a state driver's license from Florida that does not expire for another 3 years. She has flown domestically dozens of times with no issues. Last week, Maria drove to the airport to fly to California to meet her new great-grandchild for the first time. At the TSA checkpoint, the officer examined her license carefully, looked for the Real ID star, did not find it, and informed Maria that her identification was not acceptable for boarding. Maria was devastated. She had no passport with her. She had no other acceptable ID. She missed her flight. She missed meeting her great-grandchild. She cried in the airport terminal while her family tried to figure out what went wrong. This is the reality of what is happening right now. And this is exactly why I created this video about flying after 70 and these airport rules that are leaving seniors with boarding denied. The critical point I need you to understand is that these rules are already in effect. This is not something starting in 2026. This is happening now today at every major airport. If you hear anyone saying they have more time to prepare, that information is outdated. The Real ID enforcement deadline has arrived. The only reason I mentioned 2026 in relation to this topic is because as we move further into this enforcement period, the consequences will become even more severe and widespread. By 2026, there will be no more grace periods, no more exceptions, and no more confusion about whether enforcement is real. It is real. It is here, and you must take action immediately. Now, let me address something specifically important for immigrants, visa holders, green card holders, and naturalized citizens watching this on U.S. Immigration Info. Many of you may have valid immigration documents, but may not have updated your state identification to be Real ID compliant. Some of you may have changed addresses and not updated your license. Some of you may have recently received your green card or work permit and assumed your old ID was still fine for travel. Please listen to me carefully. Your immigration status does not automatically make your state ID valid for TSA purposes. You must have either a Real ID compliant license or an acceptable alternative document. For many immigrants, the easiest solution is to travel with your valid U.S. passport if you are a naturalized citizen, or to carry your valid passport from your home country along with your other travel documents. Green card holders should always carry their green card when traveling domestically as additional identification, though TSA technically requires government-issued photo ID. I want to take a moment to explain how you can check if your current ID is Real ID compliant, because this simple check could save you from the nightmare of being denied boarding. Look at the front of your driver's license or state ID card. Look in the upper right corner. In most cases, you are looking for a small gold or black star, sometimes inside a circle. If you see that star, your ID is Real ID compliant, and you should be fine for TSA checkpoints. If you do not see that star, your ID is not compliant, and you need to either obtain a Real ID from your state DMV or plan to travel with an alternative acceptable document, such as a passport. Do this check today. Do it right now after watching this video. Check your own ID. Check the IDs of your parents, your grandparents, anyone over 70 in your family who travels. This 5-second check could prevent a devastating situation at the airport. For those of you who discover that your ID is not compliant, I want to reassure you that obtaining a Real ID is not complicated, but it does require an in-person visit to your state DMV, and you must bring specific documents. Generally, you will need proof of identity, such as a birth certificate or passport, proof of social security number, and 2 proofs of residency, such as utility bills or bank statements. Each state has slightly different requirements, so please visit your state DMV website for exact details. The important thing is to do this now, not the day before your flight, not next month, but as soon as possible. DMV appointments can be difficult to schedule, and processing times vary. Seniors especially should handle this immediately because they may face more challenges gathering documents or traveling to DMV offices. If you are finding this information helpful, please take a moment to like this video and share it with anyone you know who travels, especially seniors, immigrants, visa holders, or anyone who may not be aware of these Real ID requirements. Sharing this video could literally save someone from being stranded at an airport. Comment below and let me know if you have checked your ID and whether it has the Real ID star. I read every comment, and your experiences help other viewers understand the urgency of this situation. The reason I focus so heavily on seniors flying after 70 in this discussion about airport rules and boarding denied is that older Americans are statistically the most likely to be caught off guard by these changes. Many seniors do not follow news updates closely. Many rely on family members to help with travel arrangements, but never discuss identification requirements. Many have flown successfully for decades and cannot imagine being turned away. The emotional impact of being denied boarding is especially severe for seniors who may have health considerations, who may have traveled specifically for family events or medical appointments, and who may feel humiliated and confused by a system that suddenly rejects identification they have used their entire lives. As we wrap up this important discussion on U.S. immigration info, I want to leave you with clear action steps. First, check your ID today and check the IDs of seniors in your family. Second, if your ID does not have the Real ID star, schedule a DMV appointment immediately or plan to travel with a valid passport or other acceptable document. Third, always arrive at the airport with extra time in case of any identification questions. Fourth, stay informed by subscribing to this channel where I cover all the latest immigration updates, USCIS policy changes, visa processing news, green card updates, and stories that affect your ability to live, work, and travel in the United States. Thank you for watching U.S. Immigration Info. I know that immigration and travel rules can be stressful and confusing, but my commitment to you is always to provide accurate, verified, and helpful information so you can protect yourself and your family. You are not alone in navigating these challenges. Stay informed, stay prepared, and remember that knowledge is your most powerful tool. That is all we have for this bulletin. U.S. Immigration Info Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you have not already, please subscribe to U.S. Immigration Info Channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.